Today I'm making a modern Klaplong kick completely from scratch inside Serum 2. No kick samples, no external layers. Everything you're about to hear comes from a single Serum 2 preset. And if you want to use the exact preset I create in this video, you can download it completely free from the first link below. Let's build it. We're starting completely from the Init preset. The first thing I'm going to do is activate the sub-oscillator, turn the level all the way down, then create our first LFO and put it into envelope mode. I'm going to use this envelope to control the low-end body of the kick. This will give us the deeper, distorted foundation underneath the Klaplong movement. Now create a second LFO, also in envelope mode. This one is going directly into the crush pitch parameter of the sub-oscillator. Then, inside the matrix, I'm increasing the modulation range slightly. This adds another layer of movement and texture to the low end instead of leaving the sub completely static. Now we can start creating the part that actually makes this sound like a Klaplong kick. Create LFO3 and put it into envelope mode. This is probably the most important envelope in the entire preset. The shape of this LFO is going to create that recognizable bouncing, almost ping-pong movement. Now activate Oscillator A. Move it 2 octaves up and turn random completely down to 0. Then map LFO3 to the level of Oscillator A. For the wavetable, I'm using MSAW. Increase the unison to 5 voices and push the detune very high. By itself, this already creates a much wider and more aggressive source. Now let's change the warp settings. On one side, I'm using sync and increasing the amount. And on the other side, I'm using bend plus and minus. These values have a huge effect on the character of the sound. So don't think of the exact numbers as a rule. Move them around together with the shape of LFO3 until you find the Klaplong character you want. And now when I change the sync and bend values, this is where most of the personality comes from. Next, activate the noise oscillator. I'm using white noise, and I'm mapping the same LFO3 to the noise level. Now the oscillator movement and the noise happen together. The tonal part gives us the recognizable Klaplong movement, while the white noise adds more attack, texture, and aggression around each hit. Now we need the initial pitch movement. Create another LFO in envelope mode and map it directly to main tuning. I'm shaping this envelope so the pitch begins higher and falls very quickly. This gives the beginning of the kick a stronger transient and makes the first hit feel much more aggressive. Without this movement, the sound feels much flatter. That small movement makes a huge difference. Now activate filter 1. Make sure it is only affecting Oscillator A. I'm using a high 12 filter. Keep the cutoff relatively low, increase the resonance, and push the drive pretty hard. Again, these values are not something you need to copy perfectly. The important part is how this filter interacts with LFO3, the sync amount, and the oscillator itself. Now let's move into the effects section. The first effect I'm adding is another filter. For this one, I'm using PHS24+. I'm shaping the filter until I find the resonant character I want. Then I'm creating another LFO in envelope mode, and I'm mapping it completely to the mix of the filter. The reason I'm doing this is simple. I don't want this filter affecting the entire kick. I only want it to appear around the first part of the Klaplong movement. Now I'm adding a second filter. This time I'm using PHS36-. I'm adjusting the values again and mapping the same envelope to the mix. Now both filters are moving with the rhythm of the sound instead of remaining static. This is where the sound starts getting much more exaggerated. And before we continue, if you produce raw style, hard style, industrial, hardcore, or any other kind of hard dance music, this is exactly the type of sound design I build tools for inside Krosper. The Krosper Ultimate Bundle includes my Serum 2 presets, kick systems, Ableton racks, generators, samples, and production tools designed to get you to sounds like this much faster. You can check it out below. But for now, let's keep building this one completely from scratch. Next, add an EQ. I'm reducing some energy around 70 Hz. Then I'm creating a narrow boost around 900 Hz. For both points, I'm using a fairly focused Q. That 900 Hz area is really important for this particular sound because it brings forward a lot of the knocking character. Now add distortion. I'm pushing the drive completely to 100%, but I don't want the distortion behaving the same way throughout the entire kick. So I'm creating another LFO in envelope mode. I'm giving it a more complex shape and mapping it directly to the mix of the distortion. This lets the distortion appear and disappear exactly where I want it. And I'm also using that same movement to modulate the gain of our EQ boost around 900 Hz. Now, the Klaplong movement feels much more alive. Next, add the multi-band compressor. I'm increasing the low band gain to give the body a little more weight. Again, I'm balancing this by ear. I just want the low end to stay powerful underneath all of the movement we created in the upper frequencies. Now add Convolve. For this preset, I'm using Digital Hall 2. Normally putting reverb on a kick can destroy the low end very quickly. So instead of leaving the reverb active all the time, I'm controlling it with another LFO in envelope mode. I'm mapping that envelope directly to the Convolve mix. The reverb only appears where I want it. It reinforces the first Klaplong hit and gives the later part of the kick a slightly bigger tail. It's not supposed to sound like an obvious reverb. It's there to exaggerate the movement and create extra space around the sound. After that, I'm adding another EQ. I'm giving the kick a small boost around 60 Hz to bring back some weight in the low end. And finally, we need to clean up the stereo image. Add a splitter and set it up for mid and side processing. On the side signal, remove the low frequencies. Then add utility at the end of the chain and activate bass mono somewhere around 200 to 300 Hz. Now we can keep all of that width and movement in the upper part of the Klaplong. The biggest thing I want you to take from this tutorial is that the Klaplong character is not coming from one magic effect. It is the movement between several elements, especially LFO3, and you can create completely different Klaplong variations from the same idea. And if you don't want to rebuild everything we just made from zero, I've included the exact Serum 2 preset from this video as a free download. You can grab it from the first link in the description. And if you want to go much further, the Krosper Ultimate Bundle is my complete hard dance production ecosystem. It includes Serum 2 presets, hard dance kicks, Ableton racks, generators, samples, MIDI, project files, and production systems built specifically to help you create professional hard dance music faster. Instead of rebuilding every envelope, routing setup, and processing chain every time you start a project, you get complete systems you can immediately customize and make your own. You can check out the Ultimate Bundle through the link below. And right now, you can also unlock 15% off directly on the Krosper website. Download the free Klaplong preset, try changing LFO3, and see how different you can make it sound. And let me know in the comments what I should build next inside Serum 2. That's how you turn sound into